That's the type of person that I'll be on the assembly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Beverly. And then we have Dae Miles.
My name is Dae Miles. This is my 16th time running for office. I've always brought up the basic issues like public transit and other things that aren't addressed by other candidates. I've lived in Alaska 32 years. I've run a lot of my own businesses. This week I have a flyer in the top class newspaper, the little free classified paper that the Frontier High School puts out. In it I described that early voting has started today actually. Anybody can go down to the borough and vote early. The election is Tuesday, October 2nd, and it goes until 8 p.m. So there's many opportunities to vote. These 5 questions that I posted to the other candidates are if they are against the sales tax, we've always voted it down in this city and borough of Fairbanks. If they are for public transportation, that's been my big issue, and I'm so glad we finally have evening bus service. To increase the homeowner exemption, Wolfgang Kwok has been working on this issue and has a petition. Right now you get 20 grand or 20%, whichever is less, off your taxes off your home. This would increase it to 100 grand off your home before it's taxed. A basic step to help people stay in their own homes. We need state-funded land grant school funding to further reduce local property taxes. And I've always spoken about splitting the property tax off buildings so people are free to improve, and it would end idle land speculation, the great destroyer of civilizations that turns people away from productive work and just holding the land away from their neighbors. This next week, in the top class, I have statements by all of the candidates, and you can check that out. It comes out in a couple days, the next issue. I asked the North Pole City Council candidates to make a statement. Only one responded, and that was Victoria Thompson. Her statement was, a city can only be as great when its citizens are informed, cooperating, and working together. So I appreciate Victoria Thompson responding to that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dae. You've answered probably most of our questions. Your opening statement. But you start the round with a question, and each one gets a chance to answer the same question. And the first question, phone call question, says, ITA is changing the tax cap. Do you support the new amended cap? And maybe somebody, maybe yourself, can tell us what the change is.
Overall, I support ITA's work, and I support the tax cap. It's a basic way to keep government under control, and so they have to really review what their priorities are. Thank you.
Okay, y'all right there.
Yes, thank you. At the ITA forum.
That's how I spend money. Thank you.
Okay, Dae Miles.
I've always been against the sales tax for a bunch of reasons. This particular sales tax that the borough is proposing is seasonal, where it would be twice as high as in the summer as in the winter. It seems very complicated for small businesses. In my little flyer that I put out in this week's free paper, I listed the borough's reasons why the sales tax is not a good idea. It says we voted down in the city of Fairbanks 6 times in the last 21 years. The boroughs voted it down 20 years ago. The bureaucracy to collect it would cost $700,000 a year. The residential share of property taxes would only be reduced 6%. So that's the main reason that they're saying they're doing the sales taxes to reduce property taxes. There's other ways of doing that. The sales tax would not do that. Look at the little flyer that I've got in the free paper this week. A whole bunch of other reasons why the sales tax isn't a good idea. The seasonal part of it is to get the tourists. We don't want to get the tourists. We want to encourage tourism. There's another reason why I'm against the sales tax is because it shifts costs onto labor, and your labor is yours. I believe that thou shalt not sow and another reap. Thou shalt not build and another dwell. But you should reap what you sow and build where you dwell, so that we may live long in the land that the Lord has given us.
Okay, thank you.
This piece in the railroad property, and it is, I think, the most beneficial for both the school district and the borough that, of course, owns the assets for the school district.
Okay,
That's how we got there.
Okay, Dae Miles.
I got a great idea of where we could cook the food for the schools. In the schools. Each school could have their own kitchen. Kids could learn how to cook. Schools could have gardens. They could grow their own food, cook it there, you don't want kids just being book learned, you want them learning how to do stuff. And they could learn how to cook in their own schools. Where I grew up in Wisconsin, a small farming community, they had farm wives that would come in for just a couple hours a day in the middle of the day to cook the food and serve it. And that was extra income for them. We shouldn't have a central food kitchen. This puts us at risk for disease or other things, or a pandemic. We want each school to be somewhat independent. So if there is some kind of problem like that, the other schools would have to shut down if there was a problem at one school. So I'm against the idea of having a central kitchen. As far as the borough land, yes, we need to address a lot of land issues to make it available. Thank you.
Okay, Valerie, there you go.
Thank you. I didn't vote to support the central kitchen in the railroad area.
The legislature to pass it, and that's what has to happen. That's how it works in the state laws right now.
Okay, Dae Miles.
3 years ago, we voted to increase it from 10 to 20 grand off your home before it's taxed, and I campaigned real hard for that. And on Labor Day at the North Pole Mayor's Picnic, Wolfgang and I collected signatures, and just about everybody signed it. We thought it was a great idea. One of the bills is for $100,000 off your home. The other one was changed. We can change it back to the 100. It shouldn't be at the 50. This is a basic step to help people stay in their own home. Wolfgang's petition you can get at alaskafundamentallaw.com. You can print out the petition and sign it and send it to him to give support to this effort and convince our legislature to do this. Our 3 representatives from the Fairbanks area initiated this in the legislature. David Guttenberg, Scott Kawasaki, and Joe Thomas all worked to have this homeowner exemption increased. This is a basic step to reduce taxes, not the sales tax. Thanks.
Okay, Valerie, there you go.
Of course, I agree that we should increase the homeowner's exemption.
Reduce the cost of energy for our community, therefore leaving money in our community to be spent on other things. That's what I hope will occur in the very near future.
Okay, Dae Miles.
We want to help people save money. Weatherization of homes, so people don't need as much fuel in the first place. As they phase out the IM program, I encourage us to do some kind of tune-ups for cars, maybe at the high school shop, so people can save money on gas. Public transportation, so people don't need 2 or 3 cars per family. And the basic step of stopping idle land speculation so we don't sprawl out and become less efficient, costing more to run utilities to new areas. So all these steps to help people save money, which reduces our pollution and makes the world a better place.
Okay, Valerie, how do you feel about the consolidation of 2 city governments with the borough government? Make your answer short because we're getting ready.
Yeah, we voted that down several times, and there's a bunch of different, there's unification, consolidation, there's various things, but I'm against it, and it's been voted down before. And we need to clean up a lot of the legal problems with FEDC and within the city before we would do something like that. Thank you.
Okay, Valerie, there you go. Out of time, so just kind of make a little closing statement. We'll start with you, Miles.
Yes, look in today's newspaper. We have all the different candidates that are at the table here in today's paper, so it's a good resource. Several articles and the side-by-side answers. I just wanted to mention I support recycling, clean up the transfer areas. I'd like to get the seniors involved in the schools as mentors. There's a huge resource there. My webpage, daemiles.com. Thank you very much.